Good day and welcome back to my channel. So this is video 1 of the rat rod. Yeah, it's not going to be a rat rod. This particular kit I intend to build in, it's going to be a completely customized build. This is sort of me being creative, and this is the base that I'm working off of. I wanted to do something steampunky. That's one of my aesthetics, one of the things I like. So I want to do a steampunky vehicle for a group build. I'm joining a group build for the fall for something wheelie. So the wheelie fun group build. So something that had wheels on it, and it means that the wheels actually have to contact the ground, which means no tank tracks or something. I thought about a BT7 because those can be displayed with tracks off and driving in the wheels. But then I got to thinking I really wanted to do something creative and fun. So that's what I'm doing here. And this series is going to be me doing exactly that. This is a custom kitbash kind of thing. So first of all, I like the old school cars, the old mid late 20s early 30s look. My grandfather had a 36 Ford. Gosh, that car's awesome. And I'm not really a car guy, I'm not a gearhead, but this is the base I'm going to work from. I'm going to start with this, which is the Model A Ford, and we're going to basically build this one we're looking at here. This is the base car that I intend to use. But what I intend to do is make it steam, so steam driven. And I was thinking of making it a steam-driven time machine. So not an Emmett Brown DeLorean, but a steam-powered 1929 base, time machine. So this is me just having fun, right? So we're gonna call this the Model A Time Rod. Ooh, Model A Time Rod. I like that. I just made that up. So this is what we're going to do. And like I said, this is the base of the base look of the vehicle I'm going to start with. And from this build, like I said, this kit, and I did do a review of it. I did do an unboxing of this kit, which is kind of cool. But I'll put the link below. You can build two vehicles. So you can build one of the Roadster or one of the hot rod types, and then one of the stock types at the same time. You have enough parts to do both. And so I may actually go ahead and build one of those too, just because I like the style of car. Anyway, enough said. Moving on. What have I done? Where am I going? And what do I plan to do? So I'm in the process of doing this. So let's start with this. So here is the interesting thing. Where's my start? Let's find my assembly. Here's the first assembly. So essentially you have two phases. You have your first set, and this is for the stock and vintage racing style, and this is your chassis and vintage racing piece. But if you look here, so you have your engine, which is your first part, and you do your stock or vintage racing engine or your street rod engine, and you have different versions of things that you can do for the engine. Then you have your stock and vintage racing frame, your street rod frame, and your other street rod frame. So this is the Mod Rod, and this is the Avenger version. Now the Avenger, I believe, is the one that is the one I'm working off of. I think that's what this guy is, the Avenger. So then as you flip over the instructions, you have your final assemblies for each of those types. And this is the Avenger, so I'm actually doing the Mod Rod, because that's the one that, so the Mod Rod's the one that has these, the short body and open space in the back, because I will need that. No, we'll show you why. First getcha about this is chrome parts for days. Those who have done car models know what chrome parts are like. Those of you who haven't done car models are like, chrome parts are a pain in the backside. The chrome prevents glue from working, so you either use super glue to put the chrome parts on, or you strip them. And I didn't like the way the chrome was on these parts. So these parts are kind of soft to begin with, because it's an AMT car model. So your molding is kind of soft in a lot of ways. So if we go ahead and let's bring up one of these things here and we'll look at it. So you get some kind of detail, but it's really sort of soft. It's not super impressive, kind of flashy, kind of thick, sort of Now, let's overlay all that with chrome, and that just makes it worse. So what you do, or what I did, is I stripped it. And this particular one, you can see how smooth this edge is, and there's still some chrome adhering to the surface. Now, what I used, and it is out of reach, the actual bottle is out of reach, but it's a degreaser, purple stuff. Forget the name of it, and I can kind of look at it there. And you know what? I'm going to pause here 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. This is what you use, or this is what I use. So you pour this stuff into a plastic dish, and you just drop your parts in it. And then in a matter of moments, the chrome will simply dissolve off of the surface of the plastic. And literally, if you look at, go look at YouTube and you will see videos of that being done. Now, to be fair, this stuff, one side of the chrome didn't adhere as well as the other. So I'm guessing this side is much more smooth and was much more prepared to have the chrome adhered to. This side, the chrome disappeared in literally a minute. In less than 60 seconds, the chrome was almost gone off this side of the plastic. This took about 7 hours. So this stuff soaked for close to 7 hours till all that chrome came off. The stuff that's left is what was left, but the parts I need no longer had chrome. So I did that to all of the chrome parts. I stripped off, this was another one. I stripped off all of the parts from the chrome, all the parts from the chrome. I stripped off all of the chrome from the parts, especially the ones I'm going to use. And if I'm going to end up, metallizing them, then I'm going to, repaint them in that way. Because for me, I found that to be more useful. Anyway, so with that said, I've started the build, and I've been working on this base. Basically, this is the frame piece that I'm working on. Now, I found these do not want to go together well. They're very bulky, they're very poofy, they're all that stuff. But I ended up using little bits of green stuff here and there to help this stuff adhere, and I will fix that up. And I've given this a shot of primer coat, and I've gotten this piece done. So then that piece will go here. Whoops, I apologize, my gosh. So this goes onto here. Once that goes in, then I have that base. And then here, this is your seat, which goes here. Now, the cool thing, this is one of the neat things about this particular kit, which I like, the Mod Rod version, the seat just drops in. So here's my thing. So all of the detailing for the cockpit can be done separate from this, and I can just drop it in. Now, if you look, the seam here is actually going to be very nice. So what I can do, and I'm giving serious thought to doing, is assembling all of this, doing the majority of the painting, doing all the majority of the modifications to the car, to do all the piping and all the painting and all the detailing, and then taking this guy and dropping this in, later, after I've hyper detailed this. And I say hyper detailed, I'm not entirely sure that's an accurate statement, but so that's what we're doing there. Now let's talk modifications. So this is all this kit. Now I'm going to let this go away because it's sort of in the way. So that's the kit build, right? This is the kit pieces that I'm doing. But I want to do steampunk, right? So I want to make it a steam car. So I looked at Stanley steamers and how you really can't tell. So I could go with this. I could go with the hood. I'm going to grab this and let that continue to dry. So I could take this piece and I could put the hood on. And then if I wanted to, I could go here, right? And this is the front. And I can just glue that front on. And I think that's the right one. No, this is the one. This is the yeah, that's the right one. So I would take this, glue that on, and then just seal over that, because the steam car doesn't need a radiator. It doesn't want a radiator. So that's one option, and that would give me a certain look. But I kind of want to go over the top with plumbing and piping and that kind of a thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into my bits box, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this assembly, which is here, there we go. I'm going to take this assembly, which has some nice dials and switches and so forth, and a lot of nice rivet detail and piping detail, and we're going to put that right there. So we're going to extend this all the way out the front of there and lengthen it up. And this is going to be mine. So we're not going to have a hood. We're going to have all this exposed. And so from here, I can run extra piping along the side. And what I also have, which is something I want, I need to find a way to incorporate this because it's cool. And it's totally the reason I'm doing this. And this was actually what got me started, is I have another piece, another thing here, and that's this guy. Let's bring this over so I can get actually clear light. So I have this piece that I've done some modifications to, so it'll light up. And again, I'm using those little lanterny flickery lights. So somewhere along here, and I'm thinking it's going to come either over the driver's shoulder or off to the side, I'll have this piece going. And I'm thinking maybe I can run a pipe from here to here or something like that, so that we have this, power transfer sort of looky thing. I haven't figured out how yet, and it's going to be one of those I'm going to build it as I go, which is what I'm sharing with you. So we have that, and that's all pieces and parts of what I want to do. And now I have one other thing that I wanted to incorporate. So far all I have is a steam powered, this sort of looks steam powery, and this just sort of not really sure how this looks in place. But I do have this other thing that I needed to figure out how to factor in. I have this thing. This is a keychain based on the copyrighted franchise. And it does that, and it's too cool. And I have like 3 of these things, and they're just sitting in a box. I need to use them, so I need to use it here. And my thought is, this thing goes here, and we find a way to put all this in. So we have this, and we have, this thing here, and then, maybe what I'll do is I'll find a way to put that light in this thing here, so this can glow. So we have our time machine. And the nice thing about that is this sort of sticks out the back a bit. This sticks out the front a bit, so that sort of balances out. When I was first looking at this, it sort of gave me sort of the pickup truck look, and it sort of offset it. But now with this thing, this sort of balances that out, and it gives me a better look. So I can give a nice feel, a nice aesthetic. I guess that's what I'm looking for. So this is what I want to do. To add, entertainment to the whole thing, this is the instrument panel for this, and you see this is USA right-hand drive. I'm giving serious thought to making this a English left-hand drive, and flipping everything over to where it's a left-hand drive kind of thing to fit in that steampunk Victorian England sort of look. I still will go with the big fat tires. I was chewing around on whether I wanted to go with the little, if I wanted to go with those tires, but I like the concept of doing that all up with those tires in this. And that's sort of where now the cool thing, tires, you can change out tires. That's a nice thing. They don't have to be set with your build until the very last thing, because you can always change them out, and it might be nice to do that. So currently, this is my thought, and this is the first phase of this build, and this is the investigative phase. This thing needs to continue to dry. I'm going to let this thing sit for a bit. Make Make sure this is over here. Let the green stuff has to cure, so that gets to sit over there for a while. But that is video 1. This is the first look at what I'm looking to do here. You know, this wire might get cut. This might get dropped. You know, I'm kind of liking the idea of dropping that thing up in here and lighting some of these dials and gauges. Like the fact those are already gauges, so I might figure out a way to make those light up along with. That would be kind of neat. That is the first step. I could have it going up like that, but that's just overkill. I like this thing to look like it's, you know, meant to be used and would be designed to actually function. So if I were to run like piping along here, from here down into here, so if this is sitting off to one side from here into that top piece, that would seem to work. This will have to be detailed. Obviously, the bottom and all this stuff. This is sort of smooth, and it doesn't fit with the rest of this aesthetic. So there's all kinds of little things, and there's little doodahs and dotches that you can greebly the thing up, and that's probably what I will do. But this is me planning. This is those planning stages for this. Yeah, that's where I am right now on the time rod. I like that plan. I think I'll call it. So this is video 1 on the time rod, and then, you know, I think I will probably do a video or a series instead of doing these at the same time. I'll just do a different series on the actual stock Roadster. But there you go. That is video 1 of the video 1 of the time rod build. I hope this offers to inspire folks that are interested in trying some new things and, hey, want to be creative. So remember, modeling can be fun. You don't gotta like do what everybody does. Try something different. I want this thing to have, even though this is sort of chunky and sci-fi-y, to have sort of a realistic feel. So that's where I'm going. Thank you very much. Talk to you next time. Take care.